Stop. Put down that pretty plant before you load another impulse buy from the nursery into your cart. Before you plant something near your grandchildren's play area, before you create a backyard nightmare that could send someone to the emergency room, you need to watch this. What if I told you that 7 common plants sold at every major nursery are ticking time bombs waiting to cause serious harm to your family, your pets, or even destroy your entire landscape? Welcome back to Daily Garden Guide, your trusted companion for gardening wisdom. I'm about to expose the truth about the most dangerous plants that big box stores and garden centers are still pushing on unsuspecting customers, and I'll give you better, safer alternatives that look just as beautiful without the deadly consequences. This is information that could literally save lives, prevent thousands in property damage, and spare you years of regret. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which plants to avoid, why they're so dangerous, and what to plant instead. So settle in with your cup of tea, and let's talk about the plants that nurseries hope you never research. Danger number 1, English ivy, the silent home destroyer. This climbing nightmare is sold at every garden center with pretty pictures of charming cottage walls. But here's what they don't tell you. English ivy destroys buildings, suffocates trees, and takes over entire landscapes with terrifying efficiency. Those cute little aerial rootlets aren't just climbing, they're drilling into mortar, siding, and tree bark, causing structural damage that costs tens of thousands to repair. Here's the nightmare scenario. Homeowners plant ivy as charming ground cover, and within 3 to 5 years, it's climbing their home's exterior, working into every crack and crevice. When they finally try to remove it, the ivy has bonded so strongly that removal tears off siding, damages brick, and destroys paint. The ivy doesn't just climb buildings, it creates moisture-trapping conditions that promote rot, mold, and insect infestations. The safer alternative. Want that lush evergreen climbing look without the destruction? Plant Carolina jessamine or crossvine. These native vines provide beautiful coverage, support wildlife, and can be easily managed without threatening your home's structural integrity. For ground cover, use native Allegheny spurge or green and gold. These create the same lush carpet effect without the invasive nightmare. Danger number 2, Bradford Pear, the tree that explodes. This tree literally explodes and has been banned in multiple states, yet nurseries still sell it with a smile. Here's the terrifying reality. Bradford pears have weak branch unions that fail catastrophically in wind, ice, or heavy rain. I'm not talking about broken branches, I'm talking about entire trees splitting apart down the middle, destroying cars, homes, and power lines. Bradford pears look beautiful for 15 to 20 years with gorgeous spring blooms and fall colors. Then one day, usually during a storm, the entire tree splits apart with explosive force. The destruction happens in seconds. Nurseries know Bradford pears are destructive short-lived disasters, but they keep selling them because they grow fast and customers love the spring flowers. Beyond this, Bradford pears are highly invasive, producing millions of seeds that spread into forests and natural areas. The safer alternative. Want that stunning spring flower show and beautiful fall color? Plant a serviceberry tree. These native beauties produce gorgeous white spring blooms, have spectacular fall color, produce edible berries that wildlife loves, and have strong wood that won't explode in storms. Consider redbud or American hornbeam as well. Both are incredibly strong and beautiful. Before we continue, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever dealt with any of these nightmare plants? Drop a comment below. And if you're finding this helpful, please hit that like button. Danger number 3, Japanese Barberry, the tick factory. Research has proven this plant creates perfect habitat for disease-carrying ticks, yet it's sold as deer-resistant foundation planting. Studies show that areas with Japanese barberry have 12 times more black-legged ticks than areas without it. These are the primary carriers for Lyme disease, which infects over 300,000 Americans annually. Barberry creates dense, humid microclimates near the ground where ticks thrive. The thorny branches protect tick populations from predators. You're literally installing a tick breeding facility around your home. The landscaping industry has known about the barberry tick connection for over a decade, yet nurseries continue promoting this plant. The safer alternative. Want that compact colorful foliage for foundation plantings? Use 9-bark cultivars like summer wine or coppertina. These native shrubs provide gorgeous purple and copper foliage, support beneficial insects, don't harbor ticks, and are truly deer-resistant without the health risks. For that fine textured look, try dwarf fothergilla. Stunning fall color, fragrant spring blooms, and absolutely zero disease promotion. Danger number 4, Trumpet Vine, the foundation cracker. This plant is sold as hummingbird magnet but should be labeled foundation destroyer. Trumpet vine sends underground runners that pop up everywhere, often 20 to 30 feet away from the original plant. These runners burrow under foundations, sidewalks, and driveways, exerting enough pressure to crack concrete. The aerial roots work into siding, mortar, and roofing materials. I've seen trumpet vines literally pull gutters off houses and work under roof shingles, causing thousands in damage. Trying to remove trumpet vine once established is a multi-year nightmare. The plant regenerates from tiny root fragments, meaning every piece left in the ground spawns new plants. The safer alternative. Want to attract hummingbirds without disaster? Plant native coral honeysuckle. This well-behaved vine produces tubular flowers hummingbirds love, stays manageable, and won't damage structures. Try native crossvine or Carolina jessamine as well. Both provide spectacular blooms and behave themselves in the landscape. Danger number 5, mint and bamboo, the yard hijackers. All mint varieties and running bamboo spread so aggressively they can devalue your property. Mint spreads through underground runners at shocking speed. Plant mint in your garden bed and within one season it's colonized the entire area. Mint sends runners under sidewalks, into lawns, through mulch, and into neighboring properties. I've seen mint spread 15 feet in a single growing season. Running bamboo species spread through rhizomes that can travel 20 to 30 feet underground, popping up through concrete and invading neighbors' yards. Homeowners plant bamboo for privacy screening and within 5 years they're receiving letters from neighbors whose properties have been invaded. Bamboo removal costs thousands. The safer alternative for mint, always grow in containers completely isolated from ground soil. Use heavy pots on concrete, never in ground planters. For bamboo screening, use clumping bamboo varieties like bambusa or fargesia. Even better, use native evergreen shrubs like American holly for privacy that supports wildlife. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Daily Garden Guide. We're building a wonderful community of gardeners who believe beautiful spaces should also be safe spaces. Danger number 6, lily of the valley, the pretty poison. This plant is seriously toxic to humans and animals, yet nurseries sell it without adequate warnings. Every part of lily of the valley contains cardiac glycosides that can cause heart failure. Just eating a few leaves or flowers can send children and pets to the emergency room with potentially fatal consequences. Those cute bell-shaped flowers look harmless. Children are naturally attracted to them, and pets chew the leaves, often with devastating results. Even the water from flower arrangements containing lily of the valley can be toxic. The symptoms are severe: vomiting, diarrhea, irregular heartbeat, confusion, and potential heart failure. Poisoning requires immediate emergency care, often including hospitalization. The safer alternative. Want that carpet of white spring flowers? Plant native wild ginger or native woodland phlox. Both create beautiful ground cover, support beneficial insects, and are completely safe around children and pets. Try Allegheny spurge or green and gold for gorgeous alternatives without lethal toxins. Danger number 7, Wisteria, the structure strangler. This gorgeous flowering vine can literally collapse structures. Wisteria vines grow as thick as tree trunks and exert incredible strangling pressure on anything they climb. I've seen wisteria crush PVC pipes, bend steel supports, collapse pergolas, and pull down gutters. Wisteria can grow 10+ feet in a single growing season, and mature vines become so heavy they overload any normal garden structure. That charming arbor will be crushed within 5 to 10 years. Wisteria grows into roof eaves, under shingles, around chimneys, and into vents, causing thousands in damage. Wisteria can take 10 to 15 years to bloom and requires constant brutal pruning to control growth. The safer alternative. Want stunning hanging flower clusters? Plant native American Wisteria. This species is better behaved, blooms reliably, and won't destroy structures with the same aggressive force. Try climbing roses or clematis for gorgeous flowers that can be managed with normal pruning. Quick bonus danger. Burning bush is heavily promoted for fall color but creates ecological dead zones while spreading aggressively. Burning bush supports virtually zero native wildlife. No beneficial insects feed on it, no birds eat the seeds. The alternative is better. Plant native oakleaf hydrangea, Virginia sweetspire, or native sumac. All provide equally spectacular fall color while supporting dozens of beneficial species. Let's talk about warning signs at nurseries. Watch out for these descriptions: vigorous grower, spreads quickly, deer resistant through chemical compounds. These are often code words for invasive, toxic, or destructive plants. If a plant is heavily discounted or promoted, ask yourself why. Often it's because nurseries know it causes problems long-term. Research before purchasing. If a plant is banned in any state or listed as invasive anywhere, think carefully about whether you want it. Check mature size honestly. Nurseries display plants at juvenile sizes. That compact shrub might be 15 feet tall at maturity. Here are strategies for safer shopping. Always research before shopping. Never impulse buy plants. Use your phone to search plant name plus invasive right there in the nursery aisle. Ask staff, what native alternatives provide similar appearance without invasive tendencies? This shows whether they actually know their plants. Check your state's invasive species list before shopping. Never buy anything on these lists. Prioritize native plant nurseries when possible. They have deeper knowledge and stock appropriate plants for your region. Core principles for smarter shopping. Always check if native alternatives exist before buying any non-native plant. If a plant has been widely grown in your region for 50+ years without major problems, it's probably safe. Before planting anything, ask yourself, if I wanted to remove this plant 5 years from now, how difficult would it be? If the answer is extremely difficult, reconsider. Choose plants that provide food and habitat for native insects, birds, and wildlife. Gardens should support ecosystem health. There you have it, my dear gardening friends. The 7 most dangerous plants nurseries keep selling, plus safer alternatives that give you beauty without nightmares. Native alternatives almost always perform better. More wildlife support, better adaptation, lower maintenance, and zero guilt about environmental damage. Have you dealt with any of these nightmare plants? Share your stories in the comments below. If this video saved you from a costly mistake, please give it a thumbs up and share it with fellow gardeners. Your support helps me continue sharing important gardening wisdom. Remember, beautiful gardens should enhance your life, not threaten your family's safety or your home's structure. With the right plant choices, you can have gorgeous landscapes that support nature. Your safer, smarter garden starts with refusing to buy these dangerous 7. Make the right choices, keep growing with wisdom, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy gardening!